Thank you so much for having me today here in Acton, everybody. My name is DiZoglio. I am your state auditor. It's a pleasure to be here with you today. Friends, I always get to be the one who gets to make everybody just like a little uncomfortable in the room, talking about some of the work that I do, that I'm called to do on behalf of the residents of this Commonwealth. As the auditor, it might be true that when I walk into the State House, people run in the other direction, but just for everybody's benefit here, I don't audit any of you, the taxpayer residents of the Commonwealth. I'm not the IRS, I am not the Department of Revenue, okay? So we get to be friends. That's a good thing. But friends, I audit state government to make government work better for you. We audit the MBTA, for example. I used to have people coming up to me, why don't you audit that MBTA? Well, we did 3 times actually recently. We audited them for performance and safety. We audited them for that pesky Caucus contract that we all know about for the commuter rail stations. And we found millions of dollars in cost savings for the MBTA, called to them to make sure they're enforcing penalties on companies like Caucus, to make sure they're properly training their staff and their employees on issues like safety. You know, we've had safety challenge after safety challenge at the MBTA in recent years. And just calling on them to perform better on behalf of the Commonwealth. In recent years, they've got better, but the auditor's office is we're still doing our part to make sure that we're highlighting areas for improvement and cost savings for the taxpaying residents and for the safety of the riders and employees of the MBTA alike. DCF, we audit the Department of Children and Families. A lot of people say, what does the auditor's office have to do with the Department of Children and Families? Don't you just look at financials? Actually, we look at performance, like we did at the MBTA. We looked at some of the performance and lack thereof at the Department of Children and Families, and we audited their mental health services. We looked at how some of these children were actually being given psychotropic medications and antipsychotic medications with little to no oversight from DCF. And we found some instances where children were not even being given a therapist or a behavioral health counselor to assist them as they were being served by DCF. And these are kids that have entered into the state's custody through no fault of their own. They are usually coming from very traumatic circumstances. And we did identify areas for improvement at the Department of Children and Families and called on them to make changes. We audited the Office of Elder Affairs. We looked at ways that they can improve, providing safety to our elders in our communities. A lot of folks, as we age, sometimes we don't remember things quite as well. A lot of times people can take advantage of that, family members even, and they can financially abuse elders. They can physically, emotionally, and mentally abuse elders that are supposed to be under their care. Where there are alleged instances of this type of abuse or neglect going on, the Office of Elder Affairs is supposed to be working together with our DAs. Hello, Madam DA, great to see you here. And they're supposed to be reporting these cases to the DAs so the DAs can do their work to protect our elders. But Elder Services wasn't always referring the cases in a timely fashion so that our DAs could do the jobs that they need to do. So we called on them to do better by these elders and make sure that they're protecting them. And last but not least, our favorite topic, everybody's favorite topic, at least if you go online, Ellen, is this audit of the state legislature. Friends, I want to thank you for signing to get this on the ballot. We had to collect over 100,000 signatures. And I cannot talk about this without thanking the Acton Democratic Committee, and especially Stella. Thank you so much, Stella. Stella, she thinks probably she only collects around 1,000 signatures. I think she collected thousands of signatures. She was out there with us at the grocery stores, at every picnic, at every community event, as many of you were. And we got this on the ballot in what is supposed to be a democratic process where the Constitution exists to protect the people, not the politicians. And the Constitution affords we the people with a ballot process to be able to bring our issues to the ballot, to take a popular vote on things and pass them into law if we're not seeing the action that we want to see on Beacon Hill. Now, we passed this audit of the state legislature, but unfortunately the law has gotten broken. I'm suing in court. Unfortunately, the Attorney General has chosen to represent the Speaker and Senate President against our office in the SJC. So we're hoping for the best. Keep me in your prayers. But I wanted to ask you for your support for another ballot question, because we don't know what's going to happen in court with this current audit question. On your next ballot, you're going to see an act to increase access to public records. This is a question that would put the State House, the Governor's Office, and the Legislature under the Public Records Law and bring parity between how all your cities and towns in the Commonwealth have to follow the Public Records Law and every other state agency has to follow the Public Records Law. It's beyond past time that Massachusetts stop being the least transparent state government in the nation and start becoming the first, as we are in so many other areas. I want to see us lead with respect to transparency. Thank you so much, everybody. Please vote yes on that ballot question.